My name is Moshopjadi Nchabeleng, ke setlogolo sa ditau tša ga Mankotsana. First and foremost, I'd like to commend you on this enormous step in the journey of breaking, in the journey of losing, but most importantly, in the journey of healing. I'd like you to, I'm very interactive, by the way. I'd like you to say to the person sitting next to you, but at the same time patting yourself on the back and saying, I am glad you are here. And I am glad you survived. Yes. Most of the time I keep on telling people when I'm given such platforms that I'd never come with the answers I do not have, because the answer resonates in your truth, it resonates in your soul. Number two is you need to embrace your pain, because there is in no other way. You cannot go under it. You cannot go around it. You cannot go over it. The only way is to go through it. You need to embrace your pain. I've been through a lot. And I'm sure there's someone sitting there right now and saying to themselves, but Ulabahang just doesn't know my pain. And I don't know your pain. But I'll give you a little snippet of mine. And one of the reasons I never speak for a long time when it comes to my journey of the things that I went through, because you take a long time trying to replay that whole thing. In 2014, at 17 years old, I fell pregnant with my beautiful baby girl. Very pretty. That was 2017. That was 2014, and I'm saying 17 years. You can just imagine how old I am now. In 2015, at my first attempt, bear in mind I'm saying first because I wear it as my armor. At my first attempt of matric, I failed. In 2015, in 2016, this was my second attempt, and trust me, ke phasitše ka madoda score. You see the ones that you need to just go through. Those were my marks. In 2017, I couldn't get enrolled to a public institution of higher learning. But don't worry, my story ends good. In 2018, I was then diagnosed with clinical depression. And 2019, I spent maybe a quarter of 2019 trying to make that official. I know pain. And this time, somewhere last year, I was on a similar stage, similar platform, and I didn't talk like this, I didn't act like this, but most importantly, I didn't feel like this. I know pain. You know, I was in a season where I was looking forward to rock bottom. You see, when you fall, but you're like, oh, this might be rock bottom, but that's not it yet. You fall again, and you're like, this might be it, and you're like, boom, boom, and then you're like, oh, that's it. Rock bottom for me. I was on a season where I was always looking forward to rock bottom. It was a point where there was constant pain after pain, disappointment after disappointment, letdown after letdown. I was in that season. Until one day, my mom knows, when I take off my glasses and I look at you, number one, I can't even see, but trust me, kushush, meaning it's tough. I took off my glasses one morning and I looked myself in the mirror and I didn't realize the person I was. I didn't realize who I was becoming. And that day, this is the day where I knew I was not aligned with this life. I needed to change who I was. I needed to change. I needed to stop being comfortable. I needed to disrupt the norm. Because a comfortable place is very peaceful, man. It's where there's things that you become comfortable with. It's the most painful. And that's what people don't understand, is the fact that when you're comfortable with something that's not right, you think that's the right thing to do or the right place to be. I remember on that very same day when I looked myself in the mirror and I told myself that I was not aligned with that person in the mirror, I changed. But first I changed my mindset. I was telling my mom on my way here that there's nothing as powerful as the mind. Because the mind lets you understand, it can break, but at the same time it can mend, it can create. So your mind is the most powerful organ on your body. You need to protect it. You need to master how it works. It's how the mind is. It's a very jealous organ on the body. So when I was changing, on my process of changing, when I looked myself in the mirror and didn't realize who Moshopjadi was, the first thing I did was I stopped feeling sorry for myself. You see, there are certain people that feel nice when people say Hashem, and you become comfortable with that. That they enjoy seeing you when you enjoy seeing yourself when you have your head down. You know, it's easier to move mountains when you're ready to move those mountains. Mountains become really easier to move when you want to move those mountains. So I remember there was a certain night in 2014. This is when I was 17 years old and pregnant with my daughter, but I'd given birth by that time. And I fell pregnant by a man who, according to me, was my first love. What my definition of love was. Because trust me, I have the most incredible father ever, fortunately. So already I knew what love was. I understood what love was supposed to be. So that men resonated exactly what my father was. So when that happened, when he broke my heart, I remember I didn't even want to touch his child. Like, plus automatically your mind starts making the child look like him. Just look at the lips. Until one day it was late at night and I had my daughter on my lap. She was so tiny, and I said to her, by the time my tears are flowing down my face, and I'm saying to myself, I'll never be broke like this ever again. And when I had that revelation at that very moment, I knew that I had to move. I knew it's not it's too diamond. I knew when I told my daughter that I'll never be this broken again. Because when you become broken, then certain things, you omit certain things, you become unavailable for priorities. That's the most sad part about being depressed. Funny thing is, on Tuesday, the holiday, in Alexandra, we had a meeting. I had a meeting with someone else. His little sister wanted to commit suicide. Well, unuledi allergics and he was just rolling down the floor. And the sad thing is, the mother was like, "Hey, make sure you die. Make sure you die. Because guys, make sure you putile washing how everything is nice. So when we give it to people, they must see what is what." That black people. And that was very sad. That was very sad because this is when I realized that we are a dying nation. We are a dying nation. When I have a good support system. I remember when I told my mom that I can't do with this life thing. I need a break. She said to me, "Mara, how lebahang? How? You go to the best schools, French, Poloni, you know those people. How? But how? Like how?" Then I'm like, "But why not? Why not me?" Because number one, you need to understand, because naketseni what Montessori, I'm not expected to, number one, fall pregnant at 17. Because ke tlhokile eng. Number two, your mind, you have everything, you have all the everything. And black people, when they mean everything, they mean money. So when you have money, why unalabotata? And trust me, if money could buy happiness, I'd be the most happiest person ever. I would. But it doesn't. It doesn't buy happiness. So I'm going to tell you how I dealt with my situation. I said you don't feel pity for yourself and you embrace your pain. Once you've mastered these two things, it's one of the most fundamental steps that you need in getting out of that zone. Depression is consuming to your soul. It consumes your soul in a position where people then, when they know that you are available, in the sense that, just do, just do. You become emotionally unavailable, but at the same time you are physically there. In the sense that everybody keeps demanding things from you. Everybody keeps demanding that you be there. But it doesn't matter because, at the end of the day, all this time I've been there. It's who I am. It's who I'm supposed to be. Be there. I always say to people that don't be afraid of cutting people off. Don't be afraid of cutting people off. For as long as the person disrupts your peace, they disrupt your soul, they disrupt who you are. Trust me, my mom knows. Ke kgona ho block her full month. Because I'm willing to do anything for me to make sure I am happy. Doesn't matter who I cut off during the process of being happy. And in this journey, I've learned that you do not necessarily have to react to everything. You don't have to react. Those are one of the ingredients of living a happy and healthy life. Because let me tell you something, even if I react, it won't make Utando respect me enough if she doesn't on her own. It won't make Udipuo love me enough if she doesn't on her own. Don't react. Don't react to every little thing that happens in your life. Let it go. Master the skill of letting things go. Because at the same time, you're protecting your peace. You're protecting your happiness. You're protecting your soul. Because alone, it's you and them. It's you and your thoughts when you're alone at home. So do anything to protect all those things. I'd like you guys to do something really quick for me. I'd like you to hold a hand of the person sitting next to you. You can, yes. And I want you to repeat after me. Is everybody? Yes. I want you guys to repeat after me. And this is one of the things that I used to say every time when I woke up. Because there was a stage where after I've looked myself in the mirror, I told myself, now I'm going to change. And I started writing things down. And when I wrote things down, things became a little bit easier. When I was clinically diagnosed with clinical depression, I remember the doctor said to me, I'm going to prescribe you 2 tablets. And I'm like, wait, let's get real. Give me 2 weeks. 2 weeks came and I was still the same. I'm like, give me 2 weeks. This time I'm serious. I'm going to change my mind. Just give me. It's very fortunate that I've never taken pills, because you need to master what happens in your mind. I remember there was a certain day I wrote things down, all the things that made me angry, all the things that I didn't like about me, the fact that I cry a lot, the fact that I am very moody, the fact that I can come off as being very arrogant at the same time. I wrote those things on a piece of paper, and I bought 10 balloons, wrote 10 pieces of papers, put them in balloons, and I let them fly. You let go of such things. You let go of behaviors. Let me come back to this. I want you guys to repeat after me. Say, I stand here in my greatness. I owe my light, and I owe my brilliance. I am bold enough. I am courageous enough. I am smart enough. And this is my time. I am enough. Thank you. All that, I'd say it every day. I still say it, including God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference of all the things that are there. I say them a lot. That in my greatness, I owe my light to the whole world. Because we tend to get people that when you intimidate them, when your shine is too bright for them, you need to dim yourself. Yes. You need to dim yourself, and that's where the problem becomes. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not your problem, it's their problem. That your light is too bright for them. Don't do that. When I turned 19, by the way, sorry. When I turned 19, 2017, where I had to enroll in a public university, and there was no public university that kantele jai. Hape wa itse ke a bona batho ba topa ke dutse ko morago. Ke re mara go irala. When I had to enroll into a public institution, I couldn't get enrolled because I couldn't ke passitse ka matota score. Ke passitse ka di 30 le di ya mara seng kaofela bo tsela je di serious bo di physics. Yeah, those were the ones that were, but ke passitse ka matota score to a point where I couldn't get enrolled into a public institution, and my parents opted for a private one. And I go to one of the second most expensive private institutions in South Africa, which is Varsity College. I study law. This is my third year. And trust me, it's not that we can afford it. No. It's because I couldn't get enrolled into, even this year I applied to UNISA and way. But I still know that I won't get, But this is when I realized, that, like I'm saying, I keep applying every year. Even this year I applied. I was telling my dad this year that, you know what, this thing is draining me very mentally because I keep on hoping on the fact that you guys will be financially distrained. But at the same time, it's adding too much pressure to my mindset, because then I already know that I do not qualify to go there. And the good thing is the fact that I know I'm not dumb. I'm very smart. Like I'm saying, I'm studying law. It's my third year, and I'm doing quite well. So when things don't go right, there comes a point in your life that you need to close that door. Because we keep on, when you want to get out of a certain stage, you carry umamako and you carry your little sister and you try to get out of the door, but the door is made up for you only. The door is just for you. So the moment you just say, imala, ndiabuya, things become better. Things become easier for you as an individual. And don't be afraid of letting those people go. Because let me tell you what people do. People will prefer you when you always say yes. People will prefer you when you're high and drunk and out of your mind. That's people. Nje. I prefer my father when he's drunk. He's better that way. You can get money out of him. So people are like that. They genuinely prefer you when you're high and you're drunk and out of your mind. But the most tricky part is when you start saying no. All of a sudden, me and Dipu have issues. Aye, we've got issues. Well, God bless you. Because I was in a stage where I was not willing to shrink myself only to make anybody comfortable. I was not willing to shrink myself only to make somebody else comfortable. I was willing to disrupt the norm, something I was comfortable with. I was willing to move the mountains, as unmovable as they were. And today, as I stand here, like I said, I'm a third-year student of law. I'm CEO of Women of Fortitude, South Africa. I'm a grand ambassador of Happy Day Lives. Black child, you can make it. The student liaison officer at Varsity College, VC Connect. And I'm a member of Varsity College, VC Cares. Black child, you can make it. My truth might not resonate with yours. My pain might not resonate with yours. But if you are willing and if you are ready for who you're becoming, that's enough. That is enough. That is why when I said you guys must hold each other's hand and say to each other that at the end of the day, you owe your light and you owe your brilliance to the world. And that you are enough. And that this is my time. Nkosi sikeleli e Africa, ke a leboga.